Small skills bring big bills. We're Paul and Sarah, and we are digital nomads.
We figured out how to put money in the bank outside of our traditional jobs by selling skills and abilities that we already had. When you break down the skills that you have and then put them out into the open marketplace, because I feel like what we understand that a lot of people don't, because they're still living in the traditional grind. And I will say that our lifestyle has really helped fuel that growth, because when we hit the road as digital nomads 7 years, we didn't expect to disconnect from the matrix quite like we have. Like, honestly, it's amazing what will happen to your mindset and what you see and the way you see things when you step away from that. And because we kept working in this space, people, like our family, still doesn't understand how many businesses operate online as online businesses. They have no idea what we do. It makes no sense to this day whatsoever. We are a decade into this and people still wonder actually how we make money. And what's so foreign to you looking at us, it's so foreign to us that, again, and this is part of what comes down to natural skills and abilities, because what you do is so normal to you, you don't realize that everybody doesn't understand this information. So when we're looking at businesses, it is just everything operates virtually, remotely. People are selling their skills. We hire for them, they hire us. It's a win-win situation. You may not understand that there is an entire world. It's getting a little bit more there since 2020. I feel like we kind of advanced a decade, but then it's like, oh, you must come back to the office. Things have to be done like this.
Yeah, and remote jobs still aren't the answer, because that's not the same thing.
It
right?
is not the same thing as selling your skills for
No, and that's
yourself.
what 2020 did. 2020 really still, like the whole thing that happened, right, that fantastic time period of the vid, it really gave you
a taste.
It's like, oh, you mean I can actually stay at home, I can get my kids out the door to school, I can do my laundry while I'm sending emails and checking this and doing that and get things done while still doing my work. But it really comes down to the fact that the remote job still is a job and you're tied to one employer. But when you start to look at all the little skills you have, and they can be so tiny to start with. Like if you are really good at booking, like managing a calendar for your boss.
No kidding.
Get into that. Like people will pay you for that. If you have a Gmail account or an email account that has less than 1,000 unopened emails, guess what? You're really good at that. Because Sarah's got one account that has over 100,000 unopened emails in it. Who knows what goes on in there? But there are literally people out there that are so good at this stuff. And you don't realize how good you are at it. When you started doing it, you may not have been, but now you've gotten so good at something that people will pay money, and good money, to save time. Like time is the biggest thing that everybody wants back. Like right now, I can set up a fully automated webinar in about 3 hours.
Yeah.
It will take other teams sometimes weeks to do that. But I can connect all the points in the back office. So if you have skills, like that's a big skill, like believe you me, and it took me a long time to get there, but it started with small skills.
But it's the same with you, because in your job, there's a lot of things that you've had to take years or time and repetition to get to where you're at. That's why you don't even see them as valuable.
Yep. And they're so undervalued.
Yeah.
Like your boss or your employer or wherever you work, they undervalue your skills so much, because if they didn't, you would be paid so much more money. You'd be paid based on every skill that you brought to the table. Because when you really want to, you can branch out and each one of your daily tasks can be broken down.
So what I really want to break down for people is exactly what skills, talents, and abilities are, so that we understand. If you were trying to identify your specific skills, talents, and abilities, okay, skills are the expertise and knowledge that you've acquired over years of learning and working. That includes everything that you've done over your time. Your talents are God-given natural abilities to you. Things that you just naturally are good at versus skills that you've acquired and learned. And then your abilities, they're often your talents, but they're usually also hidden because they're so innate. And what that means is they're literally built into you. It's just how you operate. And those ones are so natural, you don't even recognize them. Those are often the most valuable, truly.
Yeah.
Let's say in part of your job is scheduling and managing people. You probably do a whole lot more things than just schedule and manage people, but that's just one of your duties in there. And that one skill of being able to effectively schedule and manage people and tell them where to be and how to, you can use that as your 1099 or your independent contractor. As an example, there's tons of businesses that need you and pay quite well for that, such as the cleaning company that has to make sure that all of their cleaners are at house A, B, and D. There's so many independent businesses and very highly successful ones that will literally pay you a lot of money to schedule just their flights. Another one, for example, maybe you're an office administrator. Oh my goodness, every single thing that you do to be an office administrator, each set of skills is what you need to be a virtual assistant. And I think that's one of the most in-demand jobs. And a virtual assistant in of it, like if you go and Google this or AI it, whatever you want to use, it's going to break down. You're going to see the list of your skills, and then you can go further and go onto any one of the freelance platforms and just go have a look. See what people are paying for those skills, and you're going to be like, holy shoot, I'm really underpaid. And the great thing about when you're breaking down your skills individually is there's no limit to the amount of clients you can have. When you have an employer, you've got one boss, these are your 40 hours, and this is what you got. But when you sell those skills, you can sell to as many clients as what you want. It doesn't work like a traditional job. You might have 10 companies and you're putting in, maybe 10 hours a month for each one, and
They're paying you tenfold.
Right.
You could literally charge $1,000 per company, because at the end of the day, you're saving them the most important thing, time, because you're so efficient and good at doing those things, because that's what everybody's looking for, right? They're looking for efficiency, because they will pay to save all the time in the world because you are so good at the stuff that you do.
I feel like the main part is that a lot of people don't understand how many actual businesses there are out there, because we're really limited at looking at our local job market, or we're looking at Indeed, or we're searching remote jobs and all these things. But maybe you don't understand exactly how many businesses are running off the 1 and 2 people businesses that are making a crap ton of money and hiring for all the roles out, right? Like I said.
Yeah, the list is literally endless, and it's everywhere. Like, it could be, like, you don't even realize that until you start to tell people that you're going to sell your skills, right? That all of a sudden, people are going to actually throw people your way, and they're also going to throw ideas your way. Oh, you want to get into business? Well, here's some ideas. Like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you contact this person? Why don't you go there? Because you've got that circle of friends and that circle around you of influence that they're always willing to help you, right?
And it's as simple as this, because it could be like, well, not where I live. And it's like, in actual fact, if you have mortgage companies, real estate agents, financial services, if you see all of those businesses operating and there's likely to be successful people in it, it might be the singular real estate agent that is known for selling the 6 and 7 figure homes. Well, I'll tell you what, they can't get to that position without hiring assistants. That was actually offered to me after we started selling our services. I could have worked all kinds of different remote roles because our clients were like, hey, you're good with details and I trust you. Can you do this? We actually don't understand how many businesses within our local region as well. It's not just this foreign online concept. For some people it's foreign, for some people it's not. But locally, if you have successful independent operators, I'm telling you, they're not successful without having the help around it. And if they don't have help, offering your skills to them or just letting them know you have it, that's where what you're saying comes into play with, hey, I don't, but I know this, because success operates with success, and you are not able to make all that money by yourself, because you have to build a team of people around you. And I can tell you that I did not understand that there were that many people working as independent contractors for our local businesses, because they needed photographers, they needed the assistant at their home office. It is incredible how many businesses locally, online, that are just operating within still even the traditional landscape, but you don't realize that they're paying $10.99 to piece this team together, which is what makes their entire business function.
You have what it takes to really take your life and your income into your own hands and control it yourself. Because that's the end game for us here, is to teach you how to not rely on a paycheck, how to not live check to check if that's what you're doing, because that is not a way to live. We've got to get to a point where we enjoy life again. Most people that we talk to now just are not enjoying life because they do not know anything else other than work, work, work. And then go, 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 school activities, this, that, and the other thing. So it's really trying to rebuild the way that you think about how you make money. So if you'd like to really learn more about this and other skills, abilities, and ways to build your business and future casting, all kinds of stuff, well, we've got a newsletter that we've set up. So if you go to the Independent Lifestyle /list, there's a link in the description below, and sign up there. You're going to get on our newsletter list, and we're going to be sending out as much helpful resources as we can to get you going, because you need to start a foundation. You need to start today, because what if you started today and by the end of next week you've got your first client, you've got your first gig going on, you've got your first $1,000 extra a month coming in.
The reason that we're so passionate about this is because of chasing so many different side hustles and business opportunities that did not put the kind of life-changing income in your bank. And you can get to all of those, but it is so important to actually make that meaningful change. And it took us accidentally stumbling into it. And today there's not that many people teaching it or knowing to even look for this as, oh, this is like the way that will actually help me quit my job now, and I'll be able to pursue all of those bigger things along the way. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because honestly, if we didn't figure that out, then we could not be where we are today. And that's a terrifying thought.
Very much.